good morning. Welcome to Squawk Box. Riverboat casinos in Mississippi could soon be making the move onto land. Following the destruction from Hurricane Katrina, the state's Congress has approved legislation that would allow the casinos along the coast to move slightly inland. The legislation now makes its way to Governor Haley Barbour, who has been one of the bill's biggest supporters. Joining us with his thoughts on what it means for the industry is the president and COO of one of the companies that was hardest hit by the hurricanes, Isle of Capri's Tim Hinkley. He joins us live from his hotel in Biloxi, Mississippi. Welcome, sir. Good morning.
Oh, good morning. Welcome.
Does this go far enough? It lets you move on to land, but you're still not that far from the water, right?
Yeah, it went far enough. If you look behind me, you can see the hotel's fine. Our bottom floor of the hotel sits about 39 feet up off the mean tide level, so the surge from Katrina went underneath us. The big point was to get the barges off the water and get up over land, and we were able to accomplish that.
Are you surprised that there hasn't been less of an outcry from the constituents that seem to feel it should still be out in the water?
No, I think everyone saw the rationale behind it, got behind it. It was the right thing to do, and they did it quickly, and it allows us to get back to work.
I know there were some big casinos in maybe Las Vegas that weren't that happy to see this happen, though, right? I mean, it just means increased competition for some of those players.
Competition is good, you know, and this is a great marketplace. That's why we're happy to be up and have the ability to start operating again.
When will you start to rebuild?
We've already started. We've got plans in place to actually, in the hotel level, get slot machines and table games up and operating as soon as possible. I pointed toward New Year's Eve just to have a big party. That's our challenge. We've already got people staying in the hotel. About over half of the hotel rooms right now are filled with workers, people from FEMA, and displaced team members. And we're already working on our formal plans. It'll take probably a year and a half to get up and totally operating, but an awful lot of work has happened since the storm.
Say, Tim, hey, how many people do you employ, and what have you done with those employees during this period?
We had over 1,100 team members from our corporate offices, which are here in Biloxi, and then the Isle property behind me. Our insurance covered hourly team members for 90 days at a minimum, and then at a minimum 9 months for salaried team members. We put together a relief fund to help team members cover that gap, get their insurance adjusting taken care of, get FEMA and Red Cross funds coming in. The big thing now, what we've really been trying to do is get this legislation passed to give them some hope. We put an awful lot of them back to work either here in Biloxi or at some of our other Isle properties. And hopefully, you know, we get up and operating soon, we'll put a majority of them back to work.
Sir, it's Becky Quick. I was seeing some speculation that the casinos could do things like erect tents where you could be setting up temporary slot machines, things like that. Are you going to be doing things like that?
You know, when I pay $15,000 a slot machine, I'd want a little bit more than a tent to put it in. I think the big thing is to get this legislation done, which we did. The governor will sign it today, and put it in a facility that people are going to want to come to. Everyone has a big rush to get up and operating. I think we've all got that same urge, but we got to make sure that we do it right, that the asset is well protected, that it's safe for customers to come here. I think we've got the right mindset. People are going to have to be somewhat patient, but we do things pretty quickly. It's amazing how much work you can get done when you put your mind to it.
Do you expect a virtual explosion of new casinos down there, or is it going to be, I think that's what the worry and concern of some of the people that don't want this to happen. That's probably what it is, or only certain players are going to be able to erect on land?
You know, everyone has talked about, gee, what's going to happen in the marketplace. It was about $1 billion in gaming revenue before Katrina. It's going to take a little while to get back to that level, but I think we're going to surge past it. As far as an explosion of operators, you know, the nice thing about dealing in the state of Mississippi is that it's an open marketplace. I think people are going to come back. I don't think we're going to have 13 casinos on the coast in the next 3 years. We'll have fewer operators, but the casinos that do come back are going to be much larger. We're going to design something, I think, much larger than what we had. I think you'll see much better facilities, a lot more to offer the customer. And at that point then, we go surging past that $1.4 billion toward the $2 billion level, which I definitely think is going to happen sooner than most people think. And then you'll see the market factors come into place, and you'll see more people want to come down here and operate.
Well, certainly the state will benefit from that increased revenue. All right, thank you, sir.
They understood that, and that's why they moved so quickly to get this legislation on. It's real positive for everyone.
I mean, it's Las Vegas, Atlantic City, and the Gulf Coast now. That's
right.
That's what it's going to be. Anyway, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Timothy Hinkley,
Thank you.
President, COO of Isle of Capri.